Yogis. It's Dr. Clark, owner, operator of duoPT&YOGA, and happy to have you joining me. I don't know what day or time it will be when you're taking this class, but for me, it's Friday afternoon, and so time to work on inhaling some good, clean, energetic vibes for the weekend, and exhaling all of the stress and chaos and work and school related stuff from the week. So thanks for carving out some time for this class. This will be about an hour-long Vinyasa flow. All that means is I will be guiding you very purposefully to be matching your movement with your breathing. That's what Vinyasa means. You're moving with your breath. And so we'll be pairing our positions, or our asanas, the poses, with our inhale and our exhale. So that should help you be more calm, more mindful about what you're doing. And I posted on Instagram this morning that what I really hope you take away from these classes are not what it looks like when I'm on the mat, and it's not even what it looks like when you're on the mat. Yoga is really about what you learn about yourself when you're on the mat, being attentive to what you're doing, mindful of your breath, trying new things, and taking those life lessons off the mat. That's what's super important. So I hope that that's what you are getting out of these classes. And we're going to jump right to it today. So we're going to start in standing. So find a comfortable place to stand. This is called Tadasana, or mountain pose. So place your feet about hips width apart. Wider is fine. I want you to just inhale, bringing your shoulders up towards your ears, because they might already be there from the stress of your day. And then focus on the exhale, bringing your shoulders down and back away from your ears. So if I turn around for a minute and you can see my shoulders, the movement is bringing your shoulders back and down. So when I say put your shoulder blades in your pocket, this is what I mean. You're aiming for them back and down into where they should be, sliding along your rib cage. So this time, close your eyes. Inhale, maybe roll your shoulders up and forward towards your ears. And as you exhale, roll them down and back away from your ears. So what you'll feel is a slight internal rotation on the forward lift and an external rotation on the downward lift. If one of those feels better to you than another, you can try to emphasize that movement more. Inhale, up, forward, exhale, down and back. And my shoulders are really causing my arms to make little circles. Very gentle, don't overthink it. Make sure your knees have a slight bend to them. In fact, right now in your next inhale, come up on your tiptoes. And as you exhale, come back down on your heels. Maybe open your eyes for this part. Inhale, shoulders up, tiptoes, heels stay together. Exhale, shoulders down and back, come down on your feet. Maybe lift your toes. 2 more. Inhale, up on your toes, shoulders up. Exhale, roll them back, come down on your heels, toes up. Good. Shake your legs out. Your shoulders should feel a little bit better. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Maybe use your right hand to give gentle overpressure to bring it to that side. You can do whatever you'd like with your other hand. I kind of like to tuck it behind my back. It holds my left shoulder down and emphasizes the stretch on the left side. Maybe gazing down towards the floor feels a little bit better. Maybe gazing up towards the sky feels a little bit better. Whatever works for you on your next inhale, just come back to neutral. Roll your shoulders a few times. Feel the stress leaving your body. Feel your mind becoming clear. Stop thinking about your day. Stop thinking about your checklist. Just be present on your mat. On your next inhale, fill your lungs with breath. And as you exhale, left ear, left shoulder, all your options remain. Maybe a little bit of overpressure with your left hand, bringing your left ear to your left shoulder. Maybe tuck your right arm behind you, keeping your right shoulder down. Maybe you tilt your chin down towards the ground. Just continue your breath. Don't hold your breath. And when you're ready, come back to neutral. Shake out your legs, shake out your shoulders. Just for a moment, put your right hand on your belly. So my right thumb is on my belly button, my navel, and my right pinky finger is moving down towards my lower abdomen. And then I want you to put your left hand over your heart. So your fingers are right on your sternum or your chest bone or your breastbone, and you have your hand right over your heart. So for our inhale, you want to fill your bottom hand first. So slightly engage that pelvic floor. All that means is like kind of think about the muscles you need to switch on if you're trying to be sure you make it to the bathroom on time. Okay, I know it doesn't sound attractive, but who cares? That's what it is. And the pelvic floor muscles are super amazing and help hold all your organs up. And when activated during breath, help create this seal or a lock in your lower abdomen so your lungs fill with air more, which is awesome because that's all the oxygen and the energy we need coming in. So back to your hand placement. As you inhale, engage those pelvic floor muscles slightly, and then fill first your low abdomen so you'll feel the air fill your belly. Then it comes into your lungs, and you have no choice at that point but to have this like lift in your chest and your heart, and you're broadening and opening, and hold it at the top. Nothing crazy, nothing forceful, nothing stressful, and then you slowly let it back out. And try to match your inhale and exhale. So if you inhale for a count of 4, 6, or 8, hold it at the top for at least 4 or 5 seconds, and then exhale matching 4, 6, or 8 seconds. Okay, so let's try it. Inhale for 4. Hold it. Exhale. Inhale for 6. Hold it. Exhale for 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do 8 this time. Inhale for 8. Fill your belly. Lungs. Chest expands, heart lifts. Hold it at the top. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Drop your hands to your side. Inhale, reach them up towards the sky. Maybe tilt your chin up to your thumbs. Exhale, hands heart center. Nestle those thumbs right into your chest bone, right next to your heart. Tuck your chin. And just a moment of reverence so that we can set our intention for this practice. Grateful for these next few moments that you've taken for yourself to engage in a mind, body, spiritual, physical, connective practice. Being open-minded to take everything you're learning about breathing and moving and being attentive while you're here helps you do that more purposefully and intentionally when you're everywhere else. And we're all humans and we all screw up and we all have some days that are better than another. So take this opportunity to be your fresh start. No matter what time of day it is that you're taking this class, you're going to hit the do-over button right now. And you're going to inhale positivity, gratitude. Exhale anything negative. One more inhale. One more exhale. Good. I want you to inhale, reach, hands meet at the top. Exhale, coming through a forward fold. Now in this first forward fold, get your fingertips to touch blocks or the floor. Walk your feet wide. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees generously. We just started. And if your hands are nowhere near the floor, get some blocks, get an ottoman, get a chair, something next to you that you can position yourself on. Providing your body the appropriate support allows it to relax and your muscles to lengthen. That sounds like a good human being concept, right? Provide someone the perfect amount of support and they will relax. Yep. Yoga lessons are life lessons. Bend your right knee, straighten your left leg, bend into it. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale as you bend your left knee, lengthen your right leg. Exhale, coming back center. And fold a little deeper. One more time. Inhale, bending the right leg, lengthening the left leg. Exhale, come back to center, fold a little deeper. One more time. Inhale, bend the left knee, right leg long. Inhale, come back to center. Just heel toe those feet back into the mat. Walk your hands out so you're coming all the way into a plank pose. Drop your knees and walk them underneath you so that you are in tabletop. So in tabletop position, your wrists, elbows, and shoulders are in alignment, and your hips and knees are in alignment. So as you inhale, lift your gaze, lift your tail, drop your belly. As you exhale, drop your gaze, round your spine, tuck that tail. Okay. Think about this inhale, maybe even curling your toes under. Lift your chin. We're arching the back. And as you exhale, flatten out your feet on the mat. Rounding all the way through, tuck your tail under. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, tuck your toes, lift your gaze. Drop that belly. Exhale, rounding, flattening out your feet, maybe even tapping them on the ground a little bit. Arching up like an angry cat. Come back to neutral. Good. This time I want you to inhale. Gaze over your right shoulder at your right hip. Bring your hip towards your right shoulder. Exhale, center. Inhale, left shoulder, left hip come together. Gaze over. Exhale, come back center. Good. One more each side. Inhale, right. Exhale, center. Inhale, left. Exhale, center. Good. What you're going to do is keep your knees where they are. Walk your hands out slightly so we can kind of do this circular motion now. So what I want you to do is on your inhale, you're dropping your hips forward. You're coming around in a nice circle, kind of into a nice cobra position. And then as you exhale, you're rounding back like you're coming into a child's pose. So we're just warming up our spine, inhaling, coming around to the front, exhale, coming around to the back. Now switch your directions. Inhale, come forward left, then you shift right, then you sit right, then you shift left. One more time. Inhale, left, shift right, exhale, sit right, shift left. Come actually to the middle. Come into a wide-legged child's pose, so move those knees out to the side. Let your hands walk out in front of you so that your chest falls and your belly falls in between your legs. Balasana, a nice child's pose. Your forehead is rested on the mat. You can roll your forehead back and forth, give it a gentle massage. Maybe bring your palms together into a gentle mudra at the back of your neck. Maybe even I like to prop some blocks underneath my forearms to get a little bit of an extra stretch in this pose so that your head and shoulders can actually drop below your elbows. It gives you a nice stretch on the front of your shoulders, the back of your arm, and it just feels extremely calming. Come back to your intention that you set yourself for this practice. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Walk yourself up to hands and knees. From hands and knees, you're going to walk your legs out so you're coming back to plank. So in plank, your shoulders are over your wrists. Inhale, lengthen from your crown to your tail. Exhale, bend your elbows, come all the way down to the mat. Extend your toes. Inhale, press up into cobra. Exhale, come back down to the mat, and then press all the way up into your first downward facing dog. So when I'm in downward facing dog, I walk my feet in maybe like a half a step. I'll turn so you can see. So I kind of shorten up my stance like slightly from plank. I know some people will say you have to move perfectly from plank into down dog, don't move anything. I move my feet up like a half inch or so. It just feels better. Now this is our first down dog, so feel free to bend your knees. We call this walking your dog. Maybe it feels good to inhale, lift your heels. Bring your ears more in between your elbows, pressing down through the ground so you feel an external rotation at those shoulders, internal rotation at your hips, and then maybe drop your heels back down. So gaze up at your thumbs, make sure they're in the right alignment. Your hands, your middle finger is pointing away from you. The weight is across all of the pads of your fingers, not just your fingertips. Staying here in down dog just for another breath or two. And when you're ready, you're just going to slowly, one little baby step at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands. So you'll be at the front of your mat in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach all the way up towards the sky. And as you exhale, hands come to heart center. Good, we're going to do a couple of sun salutations just to get ourselves warmed up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Frame your feet. Step back 1 foot at a time. Drop your knees if you like. Otherwise, bend your elbows. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, come right into downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Shake your head out. On your next inhale, start 1 baby step at a time, walking your feet up so we're all going to meet at the front of the mat in a forward fold. Exhale when you get there. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, reach all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands, heart center. One more time. Inhale, reach, lift your gaze, lift your heart. Maybe back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, frame your feet, step or hop back. Moving through plank, chaturanga, cobra or up dog, down dog. That whole sequence, you'll hear people say take a vinyasa. That's what they mean. When you go from plank down to the ground through chaturanga, you can come to your cobra or up dog, down dog. That whole sequence is a vinyasa. Okay? And it's to your breath. It's moving to your breath. On your next inhale, you're walking yourself back up to the front of the mat, nice and slow. Exhale, forward fold when you get there. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees. Inhale, reach. Maybe at the top you're ready. Do a little more of a back bend. Exhale, hands, heart center. Good. I want you to hop your feet to the side. I'll move back so you can see me. So you're just in a wide stance. I want you to inhale, reach, lift your heart, back bend if you're ready. Exhale, fold. So we're just in a wider legged fold. If you like, you can have your heels slightly out of your big toes. I want you to take your two peace fingers. That's your first two fingers. Grab your big toe. Inhale, lengthen your spine, halfway lift while you're holding your toes. And then exhale, fold in half, bending your knees as generously as feels good to you. Just breathe. Being upside down is really good for your body. Helps fluid flow in a really doesn't take any energy. It's passive. It's relaxing. It's calming. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees deeply so that you can roll all the way back up on your inhale, sweeping your arms to the sky, chin lifts. Exhale, hands, heart center. Hop your feet back together. Come to the top of your mat. We're going to do our sun B salutation. So as you inhale, drop your hands, bend your knees deeply, arms lift. Chair pose. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Frame your feet, step or hop back. Take your vinyasa. So for a sun B, from our downward facing dog, on our inhale, right leg steps forward, left heel peels down, arms come up. We'll stay here for a second, warrior one. So look at your front foot. Your front knee should be bent. Your knee should be over the ankle. Your knee should be going towards the pinky toe side, not the big toe side. So push it out. Your back leg is straight, so you're feeling an opening across your hip region right now, which is nice. Your back foot is down on the mat. Your arms are up, but your shoulders are not up by your ears. Your shoulders are down. You lift your gaze. One more inhale. As you exhale, frame your front foot. Step back, take a vinyasa. And then we're going to do the whole thing on the other side. So on this inhale, left foot steps forward, right heel peels down, arms go up. And it's really nice if we're going to do a few of these the first time, like focus on getting it right. Get the alignment right. Get your secure, grounded footing right. Every building needs a firm foundation and a structure. So do you in a yoga pose. So seal those feet to the ground. Extend that back leg. Open those hips. Slightly rotate your body to the front, but it can't come all the way because you're opened in your hips. So don't force it. Just naturally bring your shoulders back to the front and naturally lift those arms up, shoulders away from your ears. So this is where I'm going to tell you, put your shoulder blades in your pocket, so down and away. Beautiful. One more inhale, maybe lift and back bend. Exhale, frame your front foot, step back, take your vinyasa, or meet in downward facing dog. Okay? From down dog, as you inhale, lift your heels, lift your gaze, bend your knees. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat in a fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees deeply so when your chest rises, you're in chair pose. I'll show you on the side. Utkatasana, so you're in a seat. If I gaze down, I can see right in front of my knees, my toes. Your hands can be heart center. They can be out in front. You can lift your heels up. You can do whatever feels good. One more breath. Exhale, stand nice and tall. Tadasana at the top of your mat. So we're going to do that whole sequence 2 more times. So this is your Sun B salutation. I'm going to move you through it a little bit quicker. So just do your best. And if at any point in time you think it's enough, down dog, child's pose are always available to you. So inhale, drop your arms, bend your knees, lift up, filling with breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, step or hop back. Here's your first vinyasa in the sequence. And from down dog, your first inhale, step forward, heel down, lifts, back bend, inhale. Exhale, frames your foot, take your vinyasa. You can leave that right leg up behind you if you want to during that press. It's up to you. From this down dog, left leg comes forward on an inhale. Heart rises, chest lifts. Exhale, frame your foot. Kick your left leg back. Maybe leave it up as you take your vinyasa. From down dog, inhale, lifts your heels, your gaze, bend your knees. Exhale, brings you to the front of the mat in a fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sit your hips. Raise your arms to whatever you like. Maybe lift your heels, chair pose, Utkatasana. Smile. Exhale, stand tall, Tadasana. Good, shake your legs out. Roll your shoulders out. Make sure your breathing is on point. 1 left. Inhale, drop your arms, sit your hips, then lift them. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, frame your feet, step or hop back, vinyasa. From down dog, your inhale brings your right leg forward. You lift warrior 1. Exhale, frame your foot, vinyasa. Right leg can stay up if you like it. This time from down dog, left leg comes forward on an inhale. Virabhadrasana 1. You should be feeling warm. Left leg kicks back, vinyasa. From our down dog, our inhale, lift our heels, our gaze, bend your knees. Exhale, front of the mat, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, lift your heart, maybe your heels. Utkatasana. Just a few breaths. And when you're ready, come back to standing. Good, we should feel nice and warm now. So we're going to kind of switch up the sun salutation. It'll start the same, but it'll pause in warrior 1 so we can move into some other standing asana poses. So inhale, reach. Exhale, sit, chair pose. Inhale, lift your heels, lift your heart. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, step or hop back. Take your vinyasa. And remember, this time, warrior 1, pause there. So right leg is forward, arms are up, inhale, lift. On your exhale, windmill your arms open, come into warrior 2. So for warrior 2, now I'm really open across my hips. My shoulders are lined with my hips. So my shoulders and my hips face the long edge of the mat. My knee on the front leg faces the front. My arms just float up shoulder height. And then you keep your shoulders with your hips. Turn your chin so you gaze over your front middle finger. You can be as low in this pose as feels good to you. On your next inhale, flip your front palm. Exhale, float back, peaceful warrior. I like to tuck my left arm behind me. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Both legs are straight. Exhale, windmill those arms around. You're going to come into triangle pose. So in triangle pose, you should literally look like you're being squeezed between two panes of glass. I'll turn so you can see. So your back leg straight, toes are pointing to the long side of your mat. Your front leg straight, toes are pointing to the front side of your mat. This hand can be on your shin, can be on a block, can be up at your heart, but wherever you choose, it should promote your torso twisting, lifting, heart opening, so that as you extend your left arm, you make this beautiful straight line and you're squeezed like between two pieces of glass. If that bothers your neck, gaze down. And on your next inhale, just windmill yourself back up. Turn both toes to the center. Exhale, float your hands down. Good. Roll your shoulders forward and up, back and down. Inhale, forward and up, back and down. Good. I want you to turn your toes out so your heels are in and your toes are out. We're going to do some breathing where we're moving in and out of a squat, which is called either temple or goddess pose. So we're going to inhale, sweep your arms up. They can meet at the top. You can gaze up. And as you exhale, sit down into a squat. Open those arms like goalposts or cactus arms. Okay? So you inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, sit. Your hips are nice and open. You're broadening across the shoulder. Bring your elbows behind you. One more inhale, lift. Exhale, sit. Good. Now we're going to just do the reverse. Inhale, lift. Turn your right toe towards the front. Turn your left toe to the side. As you exhale, bring your arms down shoulder height and just tilt your body. Your hamstring will tell you when to stop. If your hamstring says stop here, you're going to need some blocks to come up, or even put your hand here on your thigh, not on your knee, so you can rotate this chest open. If you can come down farther, it might feel slightly different on one side than the other. Okay? Our goal is not to be perfect. Our goal is to respect our body and listen to it, and respect that maybe one side has an injury and one side doesn't. One side needs a little more TLC than the other. It's totally fine. If it bothers your neck to look up, gaze down. But focus on this opening, this broadening, this lifting. All right? From here, gaze down at your front foot. Bend into your front knee. Windmill your arms up into Warrior 2. Virabhadrasana 2 on the left. So, left leg is long, toes are facing the side. Your right leg is long, toes are facing the side. Left knee is bent, toes are facing the front. You just float your arms up, shoulder height, gaze over your front finger. Remember, your shoulders and your hips face the side. My chin turns to the front. Inhale, flip your front palm. Exhale, float back, peaceful warrior. Straighten your leg and just float on back. Okay? So we're going to turn our feet again this time. This time we're going to do another forward fold. So I want you to have your toes in and your heels out this time. So as we inhale, let's try a bind. So put your hands behind you and just clasp them behind you. It doesn't have to be like crazy super tight, because I don't want you focused on that. It can just be that your fingertips touch. And if you're like, that is not happening, grab a belt or a strap so you can keep your arms behind you. Because in our forward fold, the arms, it really stretches your shoulders and it can become a weight to give you a little more forward fold. So get into your bind, whatever that looks like. Inhale, broaden across your chest, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Exhale, forward fold. So just hinge at your hips first. At some point that hinge will stop. That's where your hamstring length ends. You can bend your knees slightly, see if you get a little more. Once that hinge stops, drop your head and shoulders. Okay? Keep your hands in your bind behind you, and maybe let your hands start coming up over your head, so you see how they become a weight that actually helps to push you a little bit farther into your forward fold. Now, if you don't like it, keep your hands clasped, but just put them down at your low back. Rest them on your back side. If it's painful at all, undo it. Put your hands down. But if not, you're in this nice forward fold with your bind. I want you to twist to the left. Come back to center. I want you to twist to the right. Come back to center. Inhale, drop your hands down to the ground. Lengthen your spine in a half lift. Exhale, fold. Maybe walk your feet out a little wider, keeping your toes in, heels out. Maybe you can bring your head right on down to the ground. That's fine. If you'd like to do a headstand here, if that's part of your practice, you can do that. And just be super careful and cautious and respectful as you come into it, so that you can demonstrate and execute for yourself control of the pose to maintain safety for your head and your neck. Engage your core, pressing down through your forearms and your elbows. And when you're ready, you're going to try and come down just as slowly and carefully into that wide-legged forward fold. Everyone's still in this forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Heel toe your feet back in towards the center of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees as you come up into chair. Okay? So we're going to hold this chair a little bit longer. So I'm warning you so you can be prepared. So you're in your chair. You're sitting your hips. I like my hands at heart center. I want you to lift your heels. Just try it. If you hate it, put it back down. Keep your heels together. Keep your heart lifted. Feel your legs shaking. That's how you know you're alive. One more inhale. Exhale, drop your heels in your hands. Good. So we're going to do chair another time or two, and we're going to go into twisted chair from there so we can squeeze out our organs. Okay? So inhale, reach. Tilt your chin up. Exhale, hands, heart center. Sit your hips. Come into your chair. Okay, we're going to first twist to the right. So I want you to sit low. Bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Pressing with your hands to twist from your spine so that your clasped hands are maybe close to the center of your chest. If that feels nice, you can open your arms into an extended, twisted chair. And if side crow is in your practice, you can take that now as well. Placing your hands down on the mat beside you. You balance your knees and stack them on the front elbow while your hip is on your back elbow. And as you shift forward, you take flight. Your toes come up off the mat. Keep your hips engaged. Keep your head off the floor. And when you're done, little crow, come on back. Come on, join us in the twist. One more inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, sit your hips, come right on back to chair. Nice. And we're going to do the other side. So this time, sit low, right elbow, outside left knee, and then twist through your spine. So you're using your elbow on the outside of your knee as like a counter pressure to twist through your spine. And maybe even feel those muscles on the right side of your back like pulling you into a twist. Option, extend your arms open so they're nice and long. Or take your side crow. So remember, for side crow, you can start knees bent, hands off the left side of your mat. You're going to stack your knees and balance them on your front elbow while you balance your hip on your back elbow. And eventually your feet just lift. Okay? You don't have to stay there long. You can just try it for like a second. Come back. Everyone, when we're ready, one more inhale, lengthen in that twist. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. No chair this time. Reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands heart center. Awesome. Let's do some balancing. If you were doing some side crow, you're definitely ready for balancing. You've been doing it. But everyone, now we're going to do tree. So let's start. Ground your right foot. So really seal that right foot from your big toe across your baby toe and from the front to the back of your heel to the mat. And then everyone's left leg is going to externally rotate open. Now you can leave this leg here to have a really grounded tree, or you can put it as more of like a kickstand next to your ankle. It can be up on your calf. It can be up on your thigh. You can even really externally rotate it and be in a lotus, a half a lotus. It doesn't matter what you do. It really doesn't. Whatever feels good to you. Maybe you need to feel some secure, grounded strength to remind yourself of how strong you are. Maybe you need to push yourself to your edge. We're all in a different place. So pick the one you like. And if it feels good, and only if it feels good, on your inhale, extend your arms long. But keep your shoulders away from your ears. This is usually where the wind starts for some reason. And our branches start blowing. And we're really depending on the grounding of the roots through our foot. So smile, unmask your face, inhale through your lungs, hands together over your head, exhale, heart center. I want you to bring that left leg off in front. Keep your knee flexed and your foot flexed. Just for a minute, just because you can. Cross it over the front leg into a figure four. And we're going to forward fold. So we're taking a standing pigeon. Now, again, whenever you do a forward fold, I'm going to show you from the side for a second. Watch my spine. Do not round and roll your spine. That's not the goal. The goal is, look at the difference. Spine is long. Hinge forward at your hips. At some point, you run out of hamstring length. That's fine. Then you can start to roll your spine down, and maybe your hands come to a block or the floor or whatever you can find. Okay? But make sure that initial forward fold, no matter the position, is a hinge at your hips first. Okay? So in this standing pigeon, you should be feeling the stretch on the outside of your left hip. I know your standing leg also feels it too, because it's the only thing holding you up right now, and it's like yelling at you a little bit. But we're stretching the outside of the left hip. So when you're ready, as slowly as you went down, and as carefully as you went down, Try and come back up. Then try and uncross the leg, lift it back up in front. And then exhale, put it down. You're like, hello ground, thank you. Maybe roll your toes out, shake your legs out. Full sequence on the other side, okay? So ground your left foot. Externally rotate your right hip. Find your foot position for your tree. And again, don't compare yourself right to left. Don't compare yourself to anyone else in this class. I think that's the beauty of taking classes online is you're by yourself. You're not comparing yourself to other people. You're not looking around to see if you're doing it right. You're always doing it right if you're listening to your body and you're listening to the cues I'm giving you. That's the point. Okay? Maybe your tree branches grow. Remember, this is where it's normal to sway. Maybe lose your balance. Totally cool. Come back to wherever you are. Yoga is so humbling like that. It will always remind you of the challenges. Inhale, reach, tilt your chin up. Exhale, hands meet over your head. They come to heart center. You lift your right leg up now in front of you. Then you cross your right leg over your left thigh, opening your right hip. So I feel a stretch right here on my hip, but then I'm going to hinge forward at my hip, slowly coming back into that forward fold, and that stretch moves from the front to the outside of my right hip. Okay? Just be nice and relaxed here. Let your head hang heavy. When you've had enough, come back up to standing. Uncross your leg. Back down to the mat. Shake it out. Good. Roll your shoulders forward up. Back and down. Forward up. Back and down. Good. Inhale, reach. Lift your gaze. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. We're just going to come down to hands and knees. And then you're going to meet me in tall kneel, which just means your knees are underneath, lined up with your hips and your shoulders. Go ahead and have your feet behind you. Your knees can be together or hip width apart. I'm going to recommend you tuck your toes. Our back bend today is going to be camel. So if you're not in love with that idea, you can lay down on the mat and do bridge. It's fine. But I'm going to walk you through camel on each side and then maybe together. Okay? So for our first one, it incorporates a little bit of a twist and an extension. So I want you to inhale your right arm up. As you exhale, take your left hand back to your left heel. And you're opening. So look, I'm twisting through my spine, but I'm opening and back bending. Okay, we're just doing one side at a time. Keep your hips pushing forward. Don't let your hips sit back. So push your hips forward so that you are moving into a back bend. And like I said, if you don't like this, come down to the floor and do a bridge. On your next inhale, activate your abdomen, pull yourself back up. Exhale, hands heart center. Keep your toes tucked, sit on your heels. So we get this bonus stretch in our feet right now. And we let our back relax from that opening, twisting camel. Maybe it's a half a camel. I don't know. Or do the other side. So come on, back up to tall kneel. Drop your hands to your side. Inhale, left arm up. As you exhale, drop your right hand to your right heel. Maybe just your fingertips touch and you're like, that's enough. Maybe you have a block back there. If you can get your hand down on your heel, that's fine. Push your hips forward. Twist towards the right side
So you feel a lengthening on your left side body, but by pushing your hips forward, you're also opening into your back bend. And when you're ready, you use your abs to engage you to pull you back up. And your exhale, hands, heart center, you sit on those tucked toes. Now if you've instead chosen a bridge, you can come back out of that bridge and you have time to do one more or maybe two more. Because the next option I'm going to show you is camel with both arms back. So if you don't like both arms back, you can do the right and left side again. Or you can switch and lay down and do a bridge. Or if you already have done a bridge and you're ready for something more, you can do wheel, okay? But I'm going to guide you through camel again. So this time we're doing both sides at once. So as we inhale, I want you to just broaden across your chest, externally rotate your shoulders, drop one hand back towards the heel, drop the other hand back towards the heel, keep your hips pressing forward, maybe drop your head back. Nice. Stretch across your throat. Front body, no pinching in the back. When you're ready, tuck your chin, roll yourself back up, but then sit down on your heels. Okay, so if you were in a back bend, a different back bend, come out of it. If you were in a back bend that had one side, like that half twisted version, now you're going to do the other side. And we have one more back bend, and we're done. So I'm going to have you do the same full camel, or if you've done bridge twice, you can do wheel, or you can do bridge again, or if you just did your one twisted side, do the other side. Okay, so inhale, shoulders broaden, open them up, drop the right hand back to the right heel, drop the left hand back to the left heel, press your hips forward, drop your head back, open your front body. When you're ready, tuck your chin. As you come down, untuck your toes this time. Everyone's going to meet on your seat because we're just going to do a little bit of core work here, okay? So we're going to kind of be coming in and out of boat to do some nice work for our front side now. So we really open and lengthened our front side, and we're using the muscles to stabilize the back. Now we're going to use the muscles on the front. So for boat, you kind of balance up on your sit bones, your toes come off the ground, you can position your hands behind you, arms can be up, feet can be up. I'll turn so you can see what that looks like. You get back on that sit bone, your toes can come off the ground, your hands are behind your thighs, your feet lift, your arm lift, maybe your legs lift, right? But wherever you're at, keep breathing, okay? And we're going to pump in and out of that for 6 times. So take an inhale, exhale, lengthen to the mat, but don't lay all the way down. Shoulders and heels off. Come back up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. That's 2. Lengthen, squeeze. 3. Just 6. Lengthen, squeeze. 4. Lengthen, squeeze. 5. You have one more. 6. Hold your boat. Maybe hold your legs. Toes come down. Hands come down. Widen your feet. And just do this nice, it's like a windshield wiper action. Looks like it's moving your legs, but it's also because your hands are behind you. It's allowing a nice neutralizing spine action, okay? Which usually feels pretty good. All right. A couple more stretches. I'm going to do butterfly pose next. I like to sit on a block at least to get started so that I can be sure my hips roll open. They're not tucked under. So what do I mean by that? When you sit on a block, because you're propped up, as you come off the front of the block, your hips roll into an anterior tilt and your hips open. If if I don't have the range of motion or the length, my hips will roll under into a posterior pelvic tilt, and it's physically impossible to get your hips farther open in that position. It's better if they're in an anterior tilt. So that's why I like to start on a block. I like for my feet to be together. Bring them as close as you want to, but the goal of this is like not if your feet are close or far, but you want your knees coming down and out. That's what opens your hips. And so I like to be on the block because then I can kind of slide forward off of the block into that anteriorly tilted pelvis that opens up my hips even more. So you can, I have my hands on my ankles and I kind of use my forearms on my thighs to push them down and open a little bit more. But if this is uncomfortable, you can put a block under your legs to meet your legs where they're at. Remember, your body only relaxes when it's supported. If it feels challenged or threatened, it'll tighten up. So you have to give yourself the opportunity to feel grounded and supported to get length. It seems counterintuitive, but that's exactly how your body works. Once it feels supported, it will relax and you'll be able to have more length. Okay? Elongate your spine, bring your shoulders away from your ears, broaden across your chest. And then if you would like, you can come into a forward fold so you're hinging at your hips. And maybe you have a block in front that you can come down to. You could have two blocks, like one for each arm. Okay? But it's whatever you like. You're kind of just hinging forward. You can walk your hands out. You can just drop your head down. Remember, the goal is hip opening. When you're ready, come on back up. Be nice to yourself. Reach under your knees very carefully. Close them up like a book. Okay? And then walk them out long on your mat. Move the flesh out from underneath your bottom. Don't pretend like you don't have it. We all do. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Reach your arms. My feet are flexed. I'll move back so you can see. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Fold. Maybe grab your shins. Maybe grab your big toe. Maybe wrap your hand right over your foot. If your forward fold is really far and you want to come into it even more, you put a block at the base of your feet, and then you can wrap your hands around that block. So it gives you something a little farther away to pull into more. Or you can have blocks under your knees. Your knees can be much more bent. This pose is for everyone. It meets you where you're at, okay? Just breathe. Let go of expectation. Expectation is the biggest mood killer. Just be right where you are. That's it. Be happy with it. Be grateful for it. Be thankful for it. As you inhale, roll up your spine one vertebrae at a time. Maybe your shoulders roll too. Okay. We're going to do one final twist. I want you to bring your left leg in. I want you to wrap your right arm around your left knee. Put your left hand behind you. So you're twisting to the left, gaze over your left shoulder. My right leg is long, my right foot is flexed. When you're ready, your chin comes back to center. Then undo your twist. Then I want you to switch your legs. Right knee in. Left arm wraps the right knee. Right arm props behind. Twist to the right, gaze over your right shoulder. Left foot's flexed. Gaze back to center. Legs come out. We're going to finish in our seat. So if you are dying for laying down Shavasana, you can take it, but I'm going to guide you in a comfortable seat as well. So whatever sitting position is comfortable for you. I tuck the block underneath my hips. You can be on a meditation cushion. You can be on your knees. You can lay down. We're just going to take a few calming breaths here. So from your comfortable seat, I want you to inhale, reach to the sky, tilt your chin up, lift your gaze. Bring your clasped hands to heart center, close your eyes. If you're laying down, take a nice wide Shavasana. And just come back to your breath. Come back to your intention from the beginning of the class. To be grateful, to be thankful, to feel present here on the mat. To be focused on your breathing and to use your breath to guide what you do. And just to realize we're all human, we all make mistakes, we all need a second chance. And when you walk off this mat, this will be your reset for the day, no matter what time of day it is. Consider it a gift to yourself to be refreshed and start anew, and to be focused on these ideas on your mat, wherever you take them off of your mat. So we'll take just a few breaths in silence, inhaling, exhaling. When you're ready, gently blink your eyes open. It's been my pleasure to guide you in this practice. I like to close practice by saying namaste, which means the light and the love inside of me sees, honors, and cherishes the light and the love inside of you. So if that resonates with you and feels good with you, we can bow to each other and say namaste. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram. Bye.